This is a test of the Boundary Park alert system. Smooth.
Hello.
And we're back.
Yeah.
It's the football season again.
It is. It is.
£8 a pint.
Well, yeah.
The thing is, you've been to Centre Parks before with the family.
Yep.
So you must have known what was coming.
Yeah.
And you still went back.
Yeah, well, it's like this podcast streaming thing that we do. I always keep coming back because I always expect
it to be different.
Old mundane reality of Oldham Athletic football.
But surely, Dave, the 2023-24 season, 24 season is going to be absolutely mint.
Yeah. Not as good as that accent. That was pretty mint. I'm like Captain Sulu. Hello, Captain.
And what I would call myself, I'm nation fluid.
Nation fluid.
So my accent can change at any time.
Right.
Just depending on how I'm identifying.
Right. Well, it's a broad church.
It's a broad church. Everyone is welcome.
Very liberal, cool.
Everybody's welcome.
Yeah.
And you are indeed welcome, viewers, if you've come back for more. Presumably you've
more punishment.
Yeah, you've been missing the football.
Yeah. Yeah, if you've missed the football or you've missed Dave or Matt, you just get in touch, give us a call. Talk about your predictions. Talk about how we're going to get on this season. The new transfers. We've got your Lundstroms, your Hobsons, Willoughby, Raglan. Who else?
Let's have a look at the comments.
Yeah, go on, yeah. Hudson retained. Who else did we get? Who's the other one?
I don't know, because you're making me feel stressed by being like that.
What's
intense?
I'm not being intense.
They'll tell us who the signings are. We know this.
Dave Shirts, glorious. Ryan Hammer.
Tremendous clobber, that Dave.
Thanks, man.
Right, where's Ryan?
Ryan Hammer, that Dave Shirt, glorious.
He said he was only wearing this one because you've got the short sleeve.
Yeah, you put the short sleeve one on Twitter, so I thought I'd just rub it right in.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ryan, but no, I'm joking.
The kind of guy you've that idea with.
Beef pears.
Sam, let's just get some of these out of the way.
Yeah.
Beef pears. Thank you, Sam.
Only one Captain Dave. That's Terry Whaley. Oh.
Terry's waiting in the wings, by the way.
Yeah, we have got a few callers, but yeah.
He's waiting in the wings. But I've got a pretty exciting tweet I saw. This is 10 hours ago this was posted, but this is pretty exciting. Jacko was at Boundary Park 10 hours ago, and he'd been there today and spotted a player that he hasn't seen before walking into the main reception.
Oh, very mysterious.
So that's exciting in transfer gossip.
Andy West said, "Are we doing anything before Saturday or what?" Pretty broad, pretty general. Is that shopping?
Is that an invitation?
Swimming?
Who was it?
Andy West, Stephen.
Andy West, give us a shout if you're bored and you've got nothing on between now and Saturday. I'm sure we can do something.
Yeah. And Andy Halliwell's just texted me saying it's Dan Ward. You forgot him. So
Dan Ward. Thanks, Andy.
Thank
you, that's Andy. Why we have one intelligent person on the podcast.
And a semi-intelligent one in me, and an egomaniac
and then
like
me.
Matt Dean.
I went to Caskie. I've just got to do what I can.
Yeah. Should we get some callers in?
Get by. No, because it's because I'm an egomaniac, so I'd like to
talk for the next 4 hours
about me for the next 4 hours. Thank you. Everyone's logged off.
Okay. Come back.
Excuse me. Right, first in. He was first in. I reckon the only reason anyone's watching this football phone-in tonight is because the captain is back. And it's the only reason.
I am back.
How are you?
Very well.
Good.
Good evening, Tez.
Good evening. Good evening indeed, Dave. How are you?
How's your summer been without the football? Have you enjoyed it? Have you missed it?
Pretty boring, isn't it? I've been excited for this season to start, so it's all we've spoke about, I think, in the group chat.
Yeah, it's a pretty entertaining one. I'll give you that.
No, when we're being sensible, I should have said. But anyway,
Which is rarely, I should imagine.
yeah.
Are you brimming with optimism?
I am 100%. I think the signings he's made have been decent, well, very decent. So it's the first season I've been looking forward to in quite a few years, if I'm honest. So hopefully it could be a good one.
We'll put you on the spot, Tez, because we did our predictions, and obviously we did no preparation, did we? So I don't see why anybody else did.
Andy had a dossier.
Andy had worked it out statistically. Been in touch with some of the best statisticians in the country. But
NASA.
Yeah. Tez, where do you fancy us to finish then?
I've got second in my mind, but I'd like us to win it, obviously. But I think Chesterfield might just do us. But I think we'll finish second.
You've got the thing of them just building momentum over a few seasons, haven't you? Which we haven't got yet. So we do really well if we do win it. That would be a fantastic achievement.
Yeah, I mean, I hope we do, obviously, but I just don't think we will. Like you just mentioned them, they've Chesterfield have been in and around it for a few years, so they've definitely got a little bit more experience than us. If we don't go up, I don't think it's the end of the world. I just think that it'll be maybe a season of underachieving, but it's just one of them things, isn't it? You know, that's football.
I think it all depends on how it happens, doesn't it? I mean, if we have we could have a very disappointing season, whereas it's very lackluster. We don't get anywhere near enough points. We're nowhere near it. That would be disappointing. I don't think that any of us feel it's going to be like that. We all feel there's going to be a promotion push. You know, if you miss out in the playoffs or you miss out on the last game of the season, it's heartbreaking, but it's
football.
That's football, and it's encouraging, isn't it? And I think the other thing, like Chesterfield, is they've got the disappointment of the playoffs. That tends to fire teams on. I think, there's teams like Woking who finished third, didn't they? What was it? Woking finished third.
Yeah.
You know, like they'll be on a high going into this season. So,
but you've got your Boreham Woods and your Bromleys as well. You can't even be ignored. Eastleigh are going to be having a big push with the new chairman, Stuart Donald, and they've signed some good players as well. So, Scott Quigley for one, going from Stockport to Eastleigh, that's not a bad signing. So it's not going to be easy. But again, I just think we'll get in. I think we'll get in the playoffs, mate, and go up via the playoffs. But I don't think it's going to be easy. I think we'll be mid-table by Christmas. I think we're going to have a push towards the end of like we did last season.
I don't see how you can say we'll go up by the playoffs, because once you get into the playoffs, it is a complete lottery. So you can say, yeah, we'll get into the playoffs. I fancy us to finish, like Andy was saying, we'll finish in the top 7. We have to push in for a place. You finish in the top 7, brilliant. But then it's just, it's all down to who have you got fit, who's carrying injuries, who's suspended, who's injured.
Other teams form, the uniforms.
Exactly. At the end of the season, you've got all these things, so it's a complete lottery by that stage, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
So, what do you think of the signings, Tez? Who's been your standout?
Lundstrom looked really good until he got injured, didn't he? I thought Dan Ward's looked all right. To be fair, I know he's playing him on the left, didn't he? But it looks more than competent.
Yeah. What do you think of Willoughby up front?
He's got that on his LinkedIn. Dan professional footballer, more than competent. Yeah.
Sorry, what did you say then, Dave?
Has he really?
No, he hasn't really.
Right, okay, sorry.
You had to check.
I was checking then. Willoughby, what do you think of what you made of him so far?
I haven't seen a lot of him, to be honest, enough to comment. I've just seen the odd flashings of him.
Well, there's no point getting too excited about Willoughby, because all the transfer rumours today is that Norwood's coming in and Willoughby's going out on loan.
Tell you what,
even though he's not kicked a game competitively for Latics yet, that's the rumour.
It's just absolute nonsense. Why would you say it? It's just why would you put it out there?
I don't know. Well, that's what people are saying. So some people are saying. So
that's social media for you, I think, Matt.
Honestly, you can't even. Honestly.
Will you be calling Twitter X ever?
No,
I wouldn't. I couldn't believe it. Well,
what's all that about?
it were on the. It changed the thing up. The app on my phone.
Yeah.
I had to click on it because I didn't know what it were.
Well, especially when X came up, I thought, what website have I got on now?
Well, closer to the truth than you think, Dave.
I know you very well. So, what's your prediction for Southend, mate?
I'm hoping for a nice win, but it'd just be absolute Oldham Athletic to go there and get beat 1-0, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I think I'm. Well, we probably should say this for the end, but a disappointing draw wouldn't be unexpected, would it?
It has to be a goal scoring draw, though. It can't be another 0-0.
No.
Oh, if we get beat or draw, it's just going to be the tweets. You can just see it now, can't you?
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it
after day one. But are you going, Tez?
Yeah, I'm going. Yeah, yep.
Excellent. How are you getting there?
I'm driving down on the Friday. I'm making a weekend of it.
Nice.
Very nice.
Kiss me quick hat and all that.
Yeah, captain's hat.
Captain's hat. Yeah. God, you'd be dripping in it, won't you?
Oh, gash everywhere.
You knew what you were doing. You settles up.
You line them up and I'll tee them off.
Oh, well, listen, Tez. Behave yourself, won't you?
Oh, of course.
Don't get too much trouble. Don't get
disappointed. You don't come on with your top on. What's that all about? Is that you're wearing your top until we
Have
win?
You got sponsorship? Have you got sponsorship now? Are you sponsored by Columbia?
No, unfortunately not. No, I wish I was.
Okay.
We can't be getting the old chippy tits out this year. It's
right.
It's bad luck.
Is it? Oh, is that what it is? Right.
Okay,
Fair enough.
Okay. Right.
Right. Well, cheers, mate. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, we've got quite a few people lined up here, so we need to get through them. But
enjoy, fellas.
Have a great weekend, Captain.
See you later.
You too. See you later.
See you later, mate.
Bye.
Right, there he is, Chippy Tits.
Chippy Tez.
Chippy Tez.
Yeah.
Oh, nice to see the old captain back at the helm.
At the helm.
That's a peep showing it.
Oh,
God. I can't believe people tune in to watch this.
Just get a caller on. It's a phone in, for goodness sake.
Let's go north of the border. Hello, Graham.
Hello, Graham. How are you, mate?
I'm good. Yourselves?
Very well. Very
Very good,
well.
mate.
Presume it's getting wintry up there now, is it, by this stage?
When the football season starts up here, it's pissing down, yeah. But can I say your interview with Unsworth was amazing? I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was good to do. He's a nice bloke. He was very welcoming. Sat in his office. It was lovely.
Sat in the trough.
Oh yeah. Well, my nose was well and truly buried in the trough, obviously.
Allegedly.
Yeah. But yeah, what was your main sort of takeaway point from the interview with him? What?
I liked how he was open and honest about our targets and our transfers and all that kind of thing, because he could have just says none of your business because it's private potential, but he was telling us who he chased and why he didn't get them. I thought that was quite good.
Are you a little bit disappointed that we still haven't signed anyone since the interview? Because when was that? Best part of 2 weeks ago now, and the season's nearly started.
Yeah,
I have a theory, right? And you're gonna because I'm always out there sometimes, but I'm not interested in the signings are good, right? But for me, a revitalised Mike Fondub is going to be better up front. I mean, because look at him in the preseason; he scored goals for fun.
Mm.
He's a different Mike Fondub this preseason than he was last preseason at remember at Bamber Bridge.
3-star lighter, isn't he?
Yeah.
But that's the thing. I mean, I'm quite happy to see him back in form. I mean, he's worth 20 goals to us if he can stay fit.
Yeah, he's an enigma, and he must drive Unsworth mad. I don't think he'll start against Southend. I think he'll bring him on as an impact player if it's not going our way. I think he'll start with Nuttall and Reed. Yeah, and I think that's how it's going to go on Saturday.
No,
what do you think? How do you think we'll go? Should we be cautious on Saturday against Southend?
See, because it's the first game of the season, right, and the title's never decided after the first game of the season, I would go out attack just to see what we can do up front.
Well, you're away from home. You've got nothing to lose, have you, really?
Yeah, you've got the game to lose.
Yeah, but
no manager, David Unsworth's not going to go out and just throw a caution to the wind and put 5 men up front and then just let Southend pick us off, score at will.
No, I mean,
I didn't say that.
I know, but that's what'll happen if you go all out. I mean,
if you put 5 men up front, you will, yeah.
No,
isn't that all out attack?
4-3-3?
Yeah.
Have Fondub, Nuttall, and Reid up front together at one point. No, I'm not saying from the start. Play 4-4-2, get into the game a wee bit, come the second half, have a go.
Well, he did say that he wants to use different formations throughout the season and presumably throughout the game. I think that, well, we'll see, won't we? It'll be interesting. There'll be those who'll be delighted if he plays 4-4-2. There'll be those who'll be
I like
disgusted if he plays 4-4-2 at the start of the season.
There'll be some people who are disappointed if we win.
I like his comments, but the fans sitting behind me keep telling me we need to play 2 up front.
I just think he wants the fans behind him, to be honest with you. You know, he's lost one game in 12. You know, friendlies aside, what more do they want?
Well, it's a clean slate now, isn't it? Last season's gone.
I know,
Last season
right.
means nothing. The run at the end of last season means absolutely nothing now. It's all about this season. So, you know, if you say you've lost 12 in one and then you start the season, you lose 3 games, you're not going to hark back to last season. That's ancient history. So it's all about this season. We need good performances, and results would be fantastic. But results, first and foremost, are just what it's all about.
Anything but a win, James says he's not a disappointment.
I think when you look at how Southend's pre-season has been going, the state of the ground, the pitch, the issues that they've been having, the size of the squad, you know, you should be fancying Latics, but we all know that I don't know why. I don't know why this is why it's jumping to expectations and thinking, oh well, they should. I mean, the game is littered with results that have gone the way that you didn't expect them to for a multitude of reasons. But we all really want us to get off the mark. Before we move on to the next guest, Graham? What's your prediction for Latics in the final table of the season?
See, I think we'll be in top 7 most of the season. Not like top of the league, but I think because we're coming along, and like I say, we're second favourites in the bookies up here. So, but yeah.
So what final position then, Graham? What do you think the final position? I'm putting you on the spot. Come on.
I would take 5th with a promotion for playoffs.
Oh.
You see, at the end of the day, with the playoffs being what it is, you finish 2nd, you finish 5th. You're still in the playoffs, aren't you? So.
I know, but playoffs are fickle. I mean, my team, Dumbarton, my Scottish team, we finished 2nd in the league last year, right? When we blew the 11 points, remember?
Yeah.
And we get 6-0 by the team in 4th place in the playoffs.
That's very disappointing.
Well, we'll be keeping an eye on Dumbarton as well, my mate. So thanks for calling, mate, and glad to have you back on the show.
2-1 this weekend to Oldham.
2-1.
All right.
Who's going to score?
Reid and Fondub.
We'll take it all day, mate.
Thanks, mate. Take care.
Cheers, Graham. All the best.
Yeah.
Oh, you've got the mouse.
Paul, we're coming to get you now. Paul, are you there?
You're on mute, Paul.
There Paul, on mute.
I'm trying to sort something out. Evening, guys. You all right?
Yeah, not bad, mate. You?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. Not too bad. Where do I start with this? Well, looking forward to the season. Start of the season. What do you think about the fans down on Saturday? Do you reckon they'll go with a bit of solidarity in homage to what the Southend fans had to do, or are going through like we was a year ago?
I think there'll be. I think it all really depends on. Not all depends, but a lot of it depends on what the Southend fans do and how they kind of like encourage Latics fans to get involved. But I'm sure that if there is any kind of protest or chanting, that they'll join in. Yeah, but I think pretty much in the mind of most Oldham fans, it'll just be a case of wanting to go there and get the points. And sorry, Southend, you're going to have to deal with your own problems. Get on with it. I think that's the way most people will be thinking.
Yeah, it is very sad that you become quite selfish as a football fan. You know, you don't want it to ever happen to you, but when you're going through it, you want everyone to come round you. But it's Southend's problem, not ours. So I think we're just going to go down there and going to go for we'll empathise in some ways, but if it's empathy over 3 points, you've got no chance. We just want the 3 points and get home, don't we?
What do you think, Paul?
Hopefully, 3 points all the way. To the podcast earlier on today, in regards to where we're going to finish off in the league, and I'd say this: it's not started yet. You can go all over the socials, all over Twitter, all over Facebook. especially in the league play page, and they're saying, "Oh, this is my prediction." It's a game of two halves. The first half runs up till Christmas, and then from Christmas to the end of the season, that's your second half. Now, I don't know what you think. I don't know what the others think, but at the end of the day, let's get on the right foot. People are saying, "Oh, Latics are gonna, win the league," but don't forget we've got Chesterfield still. Chesterfield is one of our main rivals. We've got the likes of Halifax, the likes of Rochdale, and we've had a year in the league where Rochdale are like, it's a totally different game of football where they dropped down from the League Two. So we've got the rivalry in Halifax and in Rochdale. But, I'm hoping for a decent season this season. Now, we've got the big two out of the way, as in Notts County and Wrexham. Now, I went against final pre-season game. The pitch is looking amazing. And I had a joke. There was a crisp packet running across the pitch, blowing across the pitch. And I said, Frank won't be happy with that on the new £1 million pitch.
Yeah.
But, we need to get the lads in, get them playing the way that David wants to play them, and pre-season at the end of the day is all about match fitness. The real work starts on Saturday. I don't know if you agree or not.
Oh, definitely. Did they look fit to you against Mansfield at the weekend?
They look fit. But again, it's a League Two side that we're playing. We're in National League.
Not for long. Not for long, Paul. Only for one more season.
No. I'm not saying that. Not for long. This year, hopefully, touch wood, will be our year. Whether it be the playoffs or automatic promotion.
Where do you think we'll finish, Paul?
Forward to this year. And another thing, question I want to ask is, what do you think of the new kits?
That's
well, my nephew likes the third one. He's just got that today, the purple one. The orange one, tangerine one, whatever, take or leave it. I haven't seen any of them in the flesh yet, so I'm getting less and less excited by football kits like all the time because I'm getting older. But I don't think they're as good as you. I think that having to design new kits every single season for all these different clubs is starting to push the limits of designers. And I just don't think football kits in general are as good as they used to be. But I think the home one's all right, to be honest. It's not bad.
Yeah, I like the home one. I like the away one. The third one is not my cup of tea.
Not your colour, is it?
No, it doesn't suit my eyes.
No, you look like a black brick.
I'll also say Norman would look pretty in pink, wouldn't they?
Well, I won't be wearing it. Yeah, not the normal one. Definitely not. Dave Barbie Bradley. No thanks.
There's nothing.
So where do you think we'll finish, Paul, this season? What's your prediction? Bearing in mind that Matt records all these and he will be playing them at the end of the season.
Top half. If not the playoffs, then definitely knock on the door of promotion for next season.
Okay.
Ever the optimist?
Well, yeah. Can't blame him.
No. I don't blame him. Thanks for calling, Paul. We're going to get through the callers. We've got a few to get through. All the best, my friend.
All right. Speak to you in a bit.
See you now. All right. There we go. Top half.
I
don't think there'll be many people that are watching this that'll be happy with a top half finish. Well, I mean, they will if it's in the top few spots, but
promotion's top half technically, isn't it?
Yeah, top half of the playoffs.
Just top.
Oh God, you're rusty, aren't you? Should do what?
Just bring a caller in.
I practice every day.
Do you?
Talking to myself on camera. Doesn't work. Doesn't show, does it?
No, of course not.
Let's bring our Shropshire accent fluid.
Yeah, accent fluid now.
Shropshire dwelling friend, Adrian. Hello.
How you doing, guys? How you doing?
All right. How are you?
Yeah, not so bad. I've just got to say very quickly, it's my second time on. I don't do this social media sort of media stuff much, but I was on BBC Radio Wales today at lunchtime, talking about football. just quickly, I was smashing an old caravan up, and I happened to tune into BBC Radio Wales, and it was a program about Welsh independence.
Hang on. You're smashing up a caravan.
My caravan is a caravan that we're renovating a house. It's been in the garden for about 7 years, and it's got to go.
Right.
So I was just sledgehammer, smashing it up. And I happened to tune into BBC Radio Wales. It was a program about independence and Welsh nationalism, and it sort of got my goat. I just harked back to the Wrexham game, and and singing Land of My Fathers and stuff. So I called in, and I said, a good place to start would be, Cardiff, Swansea, Newport County, and Wrexham, because I'm fed up hearing about Wrexham playing in the Welsh Premier League. And I thought, no chance, they're not going to air this, but they did. They found it quite funny, but I don't know what your views on that. But it was quite amusing actually, because I didn't like it at Wrexham. I really didn't. But move on from that. They're gone now, so hopefully we can. Well, I won't say fall in their footsteps, but they're out of the way.
Hot on their tails.
Yeah, it's hard work being on the Welsh borders, because you get all the time is a Wrexham thing, and it's a bit tedious, isn't it? But there you go. Let's move on. Yeah,
Can I just ask you, did you check the caravan for tramps before you smashed it up?
Hedgehogs. We had a look for hedgehogs. No, sorry. Yeah, no, there's no tramps. Just hedgehogs. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so I'm looking forward to this year. I've been listening to the podcast. I'm going to the Aldershot game and the Halifax game. And one thing I'm looking forward to is meeting Gary. Is it the OSC veterans? I've not met him yet. So,
Gary Brown. Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to meeting them, because he's been in touch with me. I've just got a quick question about the fans bar, because I normally go down to Holden Fold to the pub down there. I can't think of its name now. The Ground, I think. But I'm going to meet him. Yeah, but I'm going to meet him in the fans bar. But it seems to me it gets very busy, and the only way to get in is to go through, pretend you've been to the toilet. Is that the only way?
The best way to get in is to be Dave Bradley flashing your media pass.
Yeah,
well, I know he does that.
On that, he does that all the time.
All the time. But first of all, you're not good looking enough. Secondly, you haven't got a media pass. And thirdly, I'm going to be doing that, so tough.
I think on that, though, it's a serious point. The capacity of the fan bar, I think, for next season will be significantly increased, because I don't know who it was, but there was someone randomly contacting the club about fire regulations and complaining to the authorities. I don't know who that might have been in the North Stand, but it needed to find another fire exit, basically putting into it, so that the capacity could go up. So it should be that next season, because that fire exit's been put in, as far as I'm aware, that the capacity, I think it's up to like 400. I think it's basically doubled in capacity. So it should be a lot easier to get into fans bar.
Well, that's good, because I'm looking forward to that, because I think that, Gary did his run the other week, and we're talking about a few things, and obviously he's doing a lot. And I'm looking forward to meeting those guys anyway. So I'm looking forward to the first game.
Where are we going to finish, Adrian?
Where are we going to finish? Well, on that, I don't care where we finish, to be honest, as long as it's sort of like not below about 8th or so. But I don't know. I listened to an interview with Mr. Unsworth, David Unsworth. I love the guy. I think he's a great guy, and everything is fantastic. But when he talks about, I think he said fast, exciting football. Is that the phrase he used?
Fast, dynamic football.
Yeah. If we play that and we finish in the top 10, I'll be over the moon. And that's what I want, because I don't think he made a rod for his own back for that, because going back to last year, I didn't go to many games, but my only kind of criticism, I know he gets a lot of stick. It's not a criticism, but I just see the sense he doesn't tend to change things. And if it's going to be dynamic, you've got to make changes, and I just see him as being a bit passive, and I'd like to think that that'll change a little bit. What's your thoughts on that?
I think that's a very valid point, but all I would say is that he was learning the league. It was his first managerial role. The first half of his tenure was quite poor in terms of results, but if you look at his second half of the season following New Year, he changed it. He wasn't afraid to upset big players, like taking Rooney off, who was in a good Rich Ferner form. And obviously he's going to be allegedly leaving the club. He wants to get rid of this negative mentality. And if you look at the last 12 games of the season, we lost one game. I know it's last season, but
Yeah.
he certainly changed things, you know, and
Oh yeah, definitely.
you've
I mean,
got
it's
to
turned
give him
around.
credit for that.
Yeah.
So I think he's
Yeah,
he's
yeah. Oh,
learning on the
no.
job.
Yeah,
Clean
I'm not knocking him. I just
No,
say
you just asked my opinion. And
Yeah.
that's what.
But yeah, I
it's
think
just
you're
when
right.
when I see him on the touchline, it doesn't seem to interact very much, and I just think it's a bit passive. But that's just my view, you know.
Well, we'll see this season. We'll see.
Yeah.
Right, listen, we're going to fire through unless you've got anything really, really important that you want to add.
Well, just a couple of quick things. A couple of away games. Kidderminster, looking forward to that. It's just down the road. And I went to Oxford City last year to see the National South playoff final.
Oh yeah,
And
nice.
that'll be very interesting when Oldham go there, because it's a strange
Good pubs
place.
down there. Good pubs.
Well, it's pretty much. I'll come on the pod and give the update on where to go, because I lived around Oxford. But one player, do you remember him? Do you remember him? A guy called Josh Parker. Is that Josh Parker.
Yeah,
he was fantastic. He's 32. He was fantastic, and I'd say don't underestimate these clubs, because they play some really good football.
Oh, it definitely won't.
And
yeah,
I don't think
we saw that when Wheelstone came up last season early on and
like
passed us
Brazil,
off the
didn't
part, didn't they?
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see.
Cheers, Adrian.
All the best,
I'm looking
Adrian.
forward to it. Thanks a lot, guys. Keep doing the good work. Great.
See you before Aldershot in the fans bar, mate.
See you in a bit.
Okay, bye now. Right, Michael's been waiting for a long time. Michael.
Hello.
How are you, mate?
I'm alright.
Are you sure?
Are you happy?
Yeah.
You sound it. What are your thoughts on the signings, Michael?
I think they're decent. I think some of them do show like that it will improve them, but I don't know. You can sign players and then they don't make a difference, but then you can sign them and then they do.
Can't argue with that.
We can't. Factual.
It's true. Who was the last player we signed that made the biggest difference, would you say?
I think Alex Reid and that did, but and then you can't just rely on them sort of players. But obviously, with a couple of them go, it's like they've all got to get used to each other again, sort of thing. So
yeah, it does take time to gel a squad. 5 players have come in. It's going to take a bit of time, and you're quite right. And I think expecting fast, quick results could be a bit unrealistic. But then again,
why?
Well, it could be. But
Joe Yarni would be the player I would say. He was like last player we. In fact, he was the last player we signed last season, and he came in and did the business, didn't he?
Yeah.
But I think some of the signings have been good, really, when you look at it.
Lundstrom, Ward.
Yeah, no, I'm just looking back to. I'm thinking back to last season and the players that came in and improved the squad. So I think that in terms of if you because we haven't really seen these players yet, the new ones. So, but if you look back at the kind of players that came in and how they improved the team, improved results, yeah.
Not all.
Yeah, well, results ultimately did improve when he came into the team after Christmas.
Yeah. Reid.
Yeah, Reid. Kitchen,
definitely.
So there have been signings that have improved. So hopefully these signings, now we all get behind them. We'll hopefully go out there and we'll see some good performances from them. And I predicted on the podcast that we're going to finish third, because I think we're totally capable of that with everything that we've got in this division.
What do you think, Michael?
I reckon we'll just squeeze second. I think us and Barnet will fight for second and third.
Oh, Barnet. Interesting. Well, I hope you're right, mate. I really do.
Yeah.
I hope you're wrong. We win the league. But yeah, I don't. I think that's a bit too much to ask this season. But you never know. Like you famously said before last season, football's all about momentum, isn't it?
Yeah. And you said football, you need to stick the ball in the opposition's half to score a goal, didn't you?
I said you're better off if you're in the opposition's half with the ball. You've got more chance of scoring from there than you have from your own half.
No, you didn't say that.
No, I did.
You said you score more goals when you're in the opposition's half.
Yeah, you do when you're in the opposition's half.
That's fact, isn't it?
It is a fact, yeah. It's
good
a fact.
stuff.
Right, so...
analysis there.
Yeah, that's analysis, that is. Michael, thanks for calling. We're going to move on to the next call. We've still got loads of people lined up.
No
All
worries,
the best.
Let's bring
Take
you
care,
in.
mate. No, we're saving towards the crescendo. In the know, is that stand for in the know boo boy? Is that what it stands for, do you think? Well, you can tell us himself.
Here he is.
Bradley. No
Hello,
longer the voice of Oldham Athletic Supporters Foundation. So Paddy will
No,
have to
I
stop
can't
using that one, won't he?
I'm still the unofficial voice of the foundation.
Unofficial.
Unofficial.
Well,
Unofficial, I
congratulations
don't know
on the
what
new
that
arrival,
means.
mate. Congratulations on the new arrival as well.
Appreciate it. Yeah, it's been a bit stressful. I've had a month off paternity, so
Lovely,
I've been bored from work.
Oh, that's why you've been you've been telling us things about all the players, all the rumours, everything's been going around. You've been well on top of it, and that's why, because you've just been sat around at home on the internet.
Not doing anything, but
doing research.
Exactly, busy. Been going down to training ground, having a look and see what we can see, checking registrations and everything. But yeah, the season, like, obviously excited for it and everything. But I think our recruitment started off really well, and it's just absolutely fizzled off at the moment. I think we haven't signed anyone for a month. You're still gaping holes right back. It's a problem. Sherwin Shelton midfield combo doesn't work. I think they're too similar. We need that. I think we're 4 players short of where we need to be. Fondop, Nuttall up front doesn't really work. It's either all our 4 strikers which we've got are good players. I don't mind any of them, but the ones which are playing together, they're too similar. The midfield 2 are too similar as well.
Well, I think we have to wait and see what, over the first 5 games of the season, what team actually gets played and how they get on, don't we? I think, I agree with you. In Shelton and Sheeran last season didn't show enough that they would be a midfield to boss this division. Fondop and not all. I think it works if one or two of them score. Like Fondop tends to score. I don't think, like you said before, I don't think he's a start. He'll come off the bench. So I think we just got to wait. I understand what you were saying. It did seem like we were on fire with the signings, and it has gone quiet. I think the club have been trying to sign players. Do you think maybe the way that clubs get that kind of reputation of these are the big boys, they're flashing the cash, prices of wages and everything's going up, and maybe the club are just not prepared to spend.
Agents are sniffing around.
You think there's a bit of that going on, maybe?
I don't think so, because whenever we wanted a player, we've got him. I think we might be overcomplicating things. Obviously, we're using stats now, and if a player doesn't see the stats, fit the stats, then they don't go for him. But I knew that we was in for a player who's just gone, who won the league. Finished second this season, and gone to Stockport on loan. But we don't do loan players according to Unsworth, and we are, like I said, we just short of a right back. It's just bizarre that with a couple of days from the season, we need a right back. No, Green's been playing there, but he's more of a winger, doesn't really defend very well. It's just, I don't know. I just don't know what they're doing in signing players at the moment.
Shelton played at right back last season, didn't he? On the last few games, was it last 2 games?
He just played the last game, didn't he? I think.
Was it last game?
Bromley. Yeah, he looked all right. He looked better than
I thought he looked a lot better. So I don't know if that might be coming into the equation, because you don't sign 2 central. All right, Lundstrom's injured, but you don't sign 2 central midfielders to be on the bench, do you? You know what I mean?
Well, you don't know where Ward plays. I don't think Ward actually is a centre midfield. He's more of a winger, isn't he? He's left-sided. So that's where he's been playing. And like I said, the pre-season, obviously the results are meaningless. I know we won 6-1, 3-0 and drew. It doesn't really matter. Nobody ever remembers pre-season. But we didn't, for the last 2-3 games, we didn't really rotate the team, did we? We just kept the same 11 and took 2 or 3 players off, which was bizarre, because Hope didn't play in that Barrow or Mansfield game, and neither did Tollett. Garner didn't even get any minutes. It was just a really bizarre ending. And I don't know. I think we're just overcomplicating things already.
I don't know, mate. I mean, there's things like knocks, strains, things like that.
Baz Rathbone said that Gardner was injured, and he was sort of injured, wasn't he, coming back from an injury?
So maybe that's why people don't get played and stuff. I mean, they're doing look. I mean, the thing is, I think there's some of us who are on paternity leave and are overthinking things and looking at everything in a lot of detail because we've got nothing better to do apart from change the odd smelly bum at the occasional time. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is, we can read. If you want to read a lot into stuff, you can. I think at the end of the day, you might be, you might have some grounds for concern if after 5 games, some of these things that are happening again. In terms of Shelton and Shearing in midfield, and we're not getting results. I think then it's fair enough. It's just
Chris,
at the moment we're just kind of it's all hypothetical. We have to wait for the season to start, don't we, before we can see where we're actually at.
I think Chris Brogan makes an excellent point there. There's not a chance of lack of recent signings because we've got to get rid of players who are on decent wages. Because Rooney was on a 2.5-year deal. He's not going to be on bad wages.
I don't believe that though, because we offered a Dallas, an unbelievable offer. He would have been the highest paid player at the club. So we're not waiting to get rid of players. There's obviously room in the budget for them type of players. And obviously, Wrexham fans and Barnsley fans think we're getting Norwood, which will be the best striker in the league.
Do you think we'll get him?
Hands down.
Or do you think it's just rumour?
I think it's just rumour. I think the Barnsley guy doesn't seem to know, and then Wrexham fans seem to suggest it. There must be something in there. If it's been said, he's been in Manchester apparently today, judging by his Instagram and stuff like that. But
you've definitely had too much time off.
Stalking.
No.
He weren't on his Instagram, but Bradley was following him.
Yeah, it was on Brad's Instagram.
It was in Barry's gym. Barry's gym it was.
Right.
In Manchester. But yeah, like I said, so there is money there, but I don't know. I reckon Dickinson looks like he was in the gym, weren't he, on Saturday? So there's a few players which I think we'll have in for Friday. Before we travel down there.
Where are we going to finish, Brad? Come on.
I think we like, and we should. Obviously, the target is promotion, but I put before, unless we sign 3 or 4 players, I think we're going to be mid-table, 8th to 11th.
Right. And how are we going to get on against Southend, mate? Because I know you're desperate to be there on Saturday, aren't you? So what are we going to get?
It's been a nightmare trying to plan this trip. It should be a win. It should be 3-4-0. I've got a bit of money on us to absolutely spank them, but first game of the season, anything can happen. But it should be 3-4-0 win. Away win, sorry. 3-4-0 away win.
Rub it in, rub the misery in a bit more.
Exactly, yeah. I know you're talking before about process and stuff like that. I don't know. I just seem to be letting the club die and just happy to be going to a game when they've just got an owner there who taking piss out of them.
I know. I think they've been. Yeah, I don't think they've taken anywhere near enough action anywhere near soon enough. I think last season was their chance to really have a go at Ron Martin, and they all just got behind the team, which some people say, well, that's great, and they turned out in the thousands and they put money into the club, and ultimately they're back at square one again, and that's what happens, and that's why we did what we did, Brad, with Abdallah, with the protests, with the boycotts, because you can see when certain people are in charge of a club, it's just going to keep repeating over and over again, isn't it? And that's what's happening at Southend, and it's a shame that they've. Did you see how many supporters groups they've got on the top of that statement? I mean, I don't know what all that's about.
11. There's 11 different ones, and obviously people about us for having different supporters groups. But like I said, they've got. I've seen one which are doing actual process and stuff like that, but the rest of them are just saying, yeah, good to game. We need to get behind the boys and stuff like that. But it doesn't work like that. And then if they don't miss the next deadline, you get -10 and don't get took over. They'll be asking themselves why can't I support a team at 3 o'clock?
Yeah, they're walking into a non-existence, aren't they?
Yeah, so they need to they need to have a think about it, I think. And if you get chatting down there, Brad, to some Southend fans in the pubs and stuff, I'm sure you'll have lots to tell them. You can tell them that you're the guy off TalkSport and all that. That clip's on YouTube. Tell them to watch that. Say this is where it goes. This is what happens. You get banned and all kinds of nonsense. So. Right, cheers, mate. We've got callers to get through. It's a queue tonight. All the best, mate. I don't know who's been in longest now. Let's bring Kian in.
Kian,
are you there?
5, 4, 3,
2, 1.
Bye, Kian.
Here we go then. Always patient.
Always willing.
Friend of the show. Ibby.
Talk to me.
Evening, guys. You all right?
Hi. How are you?
I'm all right. Looking forward to this season.
Have you got the renewed faith? Are you backing the manager?
Of course I'm going to back the manager because he's made them signings, so he deserves a bit more time in the job.
How much time are you going to give him before
I'm going to make a decision roughly about after 10 games.
Okay. I thought you were going to say 10 minutes then. What's this? What do you think about this Norwood? Just be speaking to Brad about it.
It's got legs to it because I know the club is very keen to get it, but get it done. But is he willing to drop into that league? And he hasn't really pulled any trees at Barnsley last season, so it's a bit of concerning. But I can understand why the club is going for him, and it would be a good signing. And every signing that the manager makes, we have to give them time, and hopefully they come good. And at the moment, I've been happy with every single signings we've made, so he deserves a bit more time in the job. And after 10 games, if he doesn't get it right, I think he'll be gone because the family owners at Oldham have made it clear they want promotion.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know if they'll push the panic button that soon, unless it's absolutely a complete disaster.
10 defeats.
Yeah, but I can't see that being. I think for me, it's important that they've stayed steady. They've not, like Andy mentioned it on the podcast, about not getting involved in the football matters and just letting it go on. David Unsworth was telling us like how he sees it as being a real benefit to the club that they've got a CEO in Darren Rawl who really knows the game and is a real football guy. You think back to where Carl Evans in.
Oh God!
There's a big difference there. So they've got a team of people that are working off the pitch and on the pitch to try and make things happen. I like to think that it's going to come good. And if after 10 games we're not quite where we want to be, doesn't necessarily mean it's not going to come good.
Yeah, 10 games is only a quarter of the season, isn't it? So realistically, where do you want us to see us after 10 games, Ibby? As to see that as a...
I want performance and not losing games in the silly way like last season at times. We just need to start picking up wins. But the main important thing is the new signings have to gel in very quickly.
Agreed. Yeah.
The pressure is absolutely on David Unsworth because because I've got sources inside the club. They keep telling me the pressure is big time on the manager this season. And if it goes wrong, then the club will have to make a decision because Frank is adamant that they want promotion this season. And this what we all need because this league is getting difficult to get out because at the moment we've got Chesterfield, but I think we can tip Chesterfield and win the bloody league.
Right.
I hope so. I mean, last season it was more difficult than it is this season because Wrexham and Notts County were in it. Next season, hopefully, it will be easier because it'll be 3 up and 3 down. So for me, that makes it a little bit less of a panic. I think if news of that does come in this season, I'm not saying it will make any difference to the players or the managers, but I think it will make a massive difference to in terms of how much easier or less difficult, I should say, it is to get out of the league. So I hope that comes in for the good of the National League and the English football pyramid. I think that League Two and the National League having more frequency of teams coming up and down will be good for both divisions. To be honest,
definitely.
So I hope that does come in. I'm not just saying that because we're in this division and really wants to get out. Of it. No, but I do think that it would be good for the football.
If Norwood does sign, most likely Neutral could be going out on loan.
Who will? Sorry.
Nuttall, whatever he's called. I keep getting the names confused at times. Sorry.
No, it's all right. No, I didn't hear what you said. Sorry, mate. So Nuttall will be going out then.
Yeah, but the club are trying to get the right players in, and I think you can tell why the club is going for a character like James Norwood, because they know this league we need a goal scorer who will put the goals in, and it's going to be a very long, difficult, hard season. Well, us guys are going to be supporting the club through it, and hopefully the good times will come back. And I feel this season will be a very, very close one.
I think that, what I'd really love is for us to get off to a good start against Southend, Aldershot, and Halifax, and go into that Chesterfield game with it being all square, and go there and do what we did last season, take 3 points off them. open up a 3-point lead on the top of the table. I think psychologically that for everyone that would just be absolutely mint. But even if that happens, it's a long
Put that
season.
comment up there from
This
that
one.
that one. Ridiculous.
He's got 7 games.
Absolutely ridiculous.
And if he's not in the playoffs, he'll be gone.
No.
But I can't see the football style changing from last season, and the fans will turn. Well, I mean, you're making lots of assumptions there. He's got 7 games, as if I don't think you know that for facts. So if he's not in the playoffs, he'll be gone. Again, that's just a massive assumption. You can't see the football style changing from last season. Well, I mean, that may or may not be the case. And the fans will turn. Well, I think some will. But I don't think they'll be the ones. I don't think they'll turn. I think they'll be the ones that are already waiting. You know, wanting him gone anyway.
7 games or 10 games. He's there till the end of his contract.
I think so.
Like it or not.
Yeah, I think
he's there
so.
till the end.
Yeah, and I tell guys, but he needs to come out of that comfy dugout because last preseason
he's not got in it yet.
I know, the new seats as well.
Yeah, he was already sat in there and he wouldn't leave it. I hope he won't be doing that and taking things very, very seriously when the season starts on Saturday. And after Saturday, I wish Southend all the best. And I hope they get new owners because it's not nice for a football club to collapse in the way it has happened.
What score is it going to be on Saturday, Ibby?
It's an easy Oldham win, 3-0.
Oh,
who's going to score?
I'm not bothered who scores it. It's vital 3 points, buddy.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that, Ibby.
Thanks, Ibby. Nice to hear from
Thanks
you,
a lot,
mate.
guys. Bye-bye. Speak to you
Take care,
next
mate.
week.
All the best.
See you next week, mate.
See you, mate. Okay, let's try.
Takayoko.
Yeah, Takayoko. Hello, Takayoko.
Hello, Takayoko. Bye. Oh,
hello.
Hi, guys. You all right?
Yeah, you?
Yeah.
Yeah, good, thank you. It's first time I've joined this, so I've been really enjoying it. So nice one, man.
Is your real name Takayoko?
No, it's Graham.
Yeah,
hello,
no. Welcome to the show, Graham Takayoko.
Yeah, cheers. Long story. No, it's really. It's the first time in I can't remember when that this season I'm actually feeling excited about it, and my laddies as well. Give a bit of background. I live in a place called Shepshed in Leicestershire, so I moved from Oldham in the 80s, and my lad's 15 now, and I live in the Midlands, and you've got all these teams around, but he's just the biggest Oldham fan around, and I just really hope that this season we've got something that we can get excited about. Something, it doesn't matter what cup it is, it doesn't matter what league you're in. If you're doing well, it's just that feel-good factor into it. And it's been 30 odd years, hasn't it, really, since we've had anything really to cheer about. And it would just be so nice to just experience that. It's hard, isn't it? When you talk to people, you can't explain how difficult it is when you've had nothing to get excited about. So,
it is really hard. It has been a long time, but for me, I got very, very worried about our football club going under and the state it was in, and that drove me to get involved and stuff like that. And now we've got some hope, but it's not for me. I can I don't want us to be crap, but I can live with it if we are. But when I look at my nephews and I look at the youngsters, and you're talking about your son, and I look at them, and it really is, because although it was a long time ago, I've had some good times with Latic. When I look at the kids and look at the Atleticos in front of us, and I want it for them so badly. I want them to get a taste. And like you said, even if it's the National League or it's League Two, it doesn't matter what league it is. If we're top and we win in that league and they're all absolutely buzzing, we're all going to be buzzing as well. I mean, we'll be buzzing anyway, but I want it for the kids and young people who've never experienced anything like that.
Yeah. So this season, it is interesting because we can't expect big things to happen straight away. It's like anywhere. You get all your new players in. They've got to gel. They've got to get to know each other, and they're only going to start really knowing each other when they're in the proper game situations. Are there? You can have your friendlies, and everyone says, yeah, it's for fitness as much as anything else. But I think we've got to, we can't panic after 4 or 5 games if we're not winning them all, or maybe if we've lost a couple. We've got to give it time, haven't we? To me, if we don't go up this season, but we're up there, we're up there. It's, in the top 10. That to me is a good season because it's built on where. If you look back to this time last year and where we were, you need a season really to establish. So if we don't go up, it doesn't mean that we've not had a good season. It's building that sort of the backbone really in the spine for the season after.
Yeah, I agree.
Really,
I totally agree. I think we have to look at where we've come from. We have to look at where we're at, and we have to look at where we're going. I think we're in a very strong position as a football club now, but we're only in a very strong position. That has flipped very, very quickly. So we've got still a lot of work to do. It doesn't just happen overnight, but we're in a great position. And like you said, the season is 46 games long.
Yeah.
And it doesn't, I think you can tell when you look at the club and you look at a team, you can tell when a team when it's just not going your way. And sometimes the results might be going against you and it's just not going your way, but you're thinking, you know what, at some point it's going to click and we're going to be all right. And then there's other times where you look and we've had this plenty of times over the last few seasons where you've just watched it and thought, we haven't got a clue what we're doing and we are not going to win football matches. And so long as it's the former what I said then, and you think, you know what, it's going to click in the first few games. That's okay because nothing's won or lost in the first few games. As long as you can see it's just about to click. So that's what I'd be looking at. There certainly would have been no need to panic at that stage.
So Takayoko, of the signings that we've made, who stood out for you?
To be honest, because of where we live, I've not seen any of the pre-season friendlies, but just sort of read what's online and that. And I always find it, I can't judge on a new player until I've seen them enough times and they've been. I think it's too early because, and I think it's just from experience of getting excited with signings and finding out that they've not done the business. So to be honest, I'm going to sort of hold my judgment on the players until we've seen them enough. But I think when you look at the players that we've brought in, it's certainly, it's certainly there. We're up to challenge, which we want. And I know on the podcast with Unsworth, we're in a position now as a club where people are coming to want to play for us rather than us having to just sort of, has anyone got a pair of boots and a pair of shin pads? Come down and turn up. So yeah, so to me, I think I'm going to hold off to the first few games. Maybe it's a lifetime of supporting Oldham, which makes me not get too excited about individual players at this particular time.
Right, where we're going to finish then?
I think we're going to finish 7th, and I think we'll get in there, and I think we'll scrape in there, and we'll have a better second half of the season to the first. But I think we'll just get in the playoffs. I think we'll scrape in, but it will be a last sort of half of the, maybe the last third of the season push again once.
And how will we do in the playoffs?
Playoffs, I don't think we'll do it.
Oh.
I don't think we'll do it. I'd love to, but I just don't think we're. I don't know. It's a long way off. It's a long way off, and I don't know the strength of the team. I don't know the characters of the players. Who are those leaders going to be that, if we're in that position, are going to bring those less experienced players over the line to be able to
Don't
stand.
Overthink it, Graham. Don't overthink it or anything, will we?
I know.
That's
been an Oldham fan, isn't it? That's all I've ever had. All I've done for a long time is overthink it.
But this is where we're at now. Where this is the last week where we have to go purely on speculation and hypothetical, because as of next week, we'll have a game to talk about, and we'll be able to assess some players, and and we'll be a one step for one game, 1/46 of the way towards knowing like where we're going to be, and we're going to go on that journey, and that's what's great about football is every single season it starts again. Sometimes it's horrific, but for the first time in however long, I mean, you just put up that comment then, Dave, about someone saying about I'll be happy if we finish 19th as long as we have a club. I mean, don't think anybody would be really happy with that league position. Like, what we want to see is the club. I mean, I'm happy for progress to be, incremental, to coin a phrase from last season. But progress, we have to see progress every single year because what did we finish last season? 12th? Yeah. And that was on the back of a really poor first half of the season and only 6 points off the playoffs. So when you look at it from that point of view, playoffs this season should, based on the fact that we've got a better squad than we had last season, we've got a manager and a management team that have been here for 12 months, we've got players that have been here for a lot longer.
Proper pre-season,
proper facilities, proper diet, proper physios, proper pitch. Everything suggests that this season we should be top 10 or above easily. That is, I think anything below that is a failure because based on last season and where we've gone and the expectations at the club. So I think the fact that we're all not expecting promotion because there's one guaranteed promotion spot next season, but we're all expecting a real push for promotion, and that will end as it ends. We'll just have to wait and see. It's far too unpredictable, but the Latics have got a chance this season.
They have.
And that is, we don't get to say that very often.
It's going to be either HMS Pistol League or HMS Piss Boil, isn't it?
Yeah. So I'll get one T-shirt, you get another.
Oh, we didn't get that other caller on tonight, did we? Reese.
Oh,
no minerals, Reese. No minerals.
Listen, Graham or Takayoko, do call again.
Yeah, definitely. Take care, guys. Keep up the absolute cracking work. We've been in the Midlands. It's hard to get up there, but the podcasts have just been absolute fantastic. And just keep up the great work, guys.
Much appreciated. Thanks very much, mate.
You.
See you later.
Take care.
Bye. Right, well, that just about wraps it up in terms of the callers because the other guys are no longer connected. And you know what? It's been an hour.
Yeah.
And it's been a long hour for anyone watching.
I think it's flown by.
Do you?
I do, yeah.
I've enjoyed it. It's good to be back.
Yeah, thanks to everyone watching. Improved numbers.
Yeah,
but if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel on YouTube, if you could do so.
Yeah, please, because we're trying to get up to 1,000.
I want to buy a car, and Matt wants a villa, and Andy.
I'm going to buy Aston Villa.
What does Andy want to buy?
Andy doesn't need anything. He's loaded.
Yeah, he's pretty.
He lives in London.
Pretty rich.
He's got a yacht already. Okay, yeah. So that was the first of the season. It's our third season, this Dave.
Third season.
The promotion season, or is it? Who knows?
Or is it?
Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you next week. Don't forget to listen to the podcast on Monday morning. It's at 6 a.m.
And this will be released on Friday now, going forward. Just want it as a pod.
Yeah, always is.
But all right, fine.
All right. Okay, Dave. Nobody wants to listen to it without looking at you. Sexy Dave Bradley. The Boundary Park Alert System is hosted and produced weekly by Matt Dean, Andy Halliwell and Dave Bradley. A huge thank you goes to those people who already subscribe to the podcast. We appreciate you all, and if you'd like to help us out financially, please visit oafcpodcast.co.uk and click support or find the link in the show notes. It's only $2.99 a month to subscribe, but if you'd rather make a one-off donation, please visit buymeacoffee.com/OAFC podcast or click the link on our website. Please follow and interact with us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and TikTok at OAFC Podcast, and subscribe to youtube.com/@OAFC Podcast, where you will find the Latics Football Phone In with myself and Dave Bradley live every Wednesday from 8:30 p.m. We'd like to thank Arlene Finnegan for writing our excellent weekly blog, which we encourage you to read on our website every Saturday morning. And thanks also goes to Paul Prendergast for providing us with all the Latics Mind questions. The title music for the show is by Manchester DJ and producer Starion, and for more information visit bandcamp.com/Red Laser Records. You can help change the game by listening to us on the Fan Hub app along with all major podcast platforms. Please like, subscribe and review the pod and help us climb the rankings to get more listeners wherever you listen. Thank you for listening, and if you'd like to be a guest or contribute to the show in any way, we'd love to hear from you. See you next week.